Last time, y'all started your journey looking for this figure you now know as the Dreamer. And after a number of hours traversing a chasm and into these odd tunnels in which you entered and exited these dreamlike moments, you finally succumb to them, only to follow a voice which has now led you to this large cavern in which a stone giant sits, and they have introduced themselves as Argos. And they have asked you, what can they do for you? And all about you continue to dance these drawn and painted stone giant figures, and everything still very much seems like almost a lucid dream.
I think Scylla just looks to StarCaller in this moment.
Dreamer, I am Artomis StarCaller, sworn sword of the Kingdom of Ember, guardian of Din Khan, and your loyal subject. I seek your magical inks, that I may have the ability to call forth small allies, that I will be able to scout ahead in darkness and enlighten, lend aid from afar. Are you possessed with such magic as this?
Might be.
Oh, great.
That sounds quite promising.
Yeah, that's huge, yeah.
In what form would you wish this to take?
Alright, so I've been thinking about this. Have you ever seen an owl?
I have seen it in the dreams.
Okay, great. I was a little worried they didn't have them down here. But yeah, I was thinking like an owl, but like matte black. And just like, but like quiet.
And where would you wish this to be imparted on you?
Oh man, once again, you're asking only the best questions. Can we do like a shoulder, or maybe can I do like a wing on my shoulder, or something like that? I don't know if you ever tattooed a leonine before. I have a lot of hair. Is that a problem for you?
You must be shaved where the ink meets flesh.
I was afraid you were gonna say that. But
It is the only way they can seep into the skin.
Hey, I am here for it, my friend. Listen, I have heard tales of your renown, and I have sought you, so what's a little shaving between friends? Yeah, I'll get right on that one.
Alright, Andrew. What tattoo are you trying to get here?
I would like a spell rot tattoo of the first spell level, please.
The first spell level. And what spell are you trying to get?
I would like Find Familiar.
Okay. As you explain this to Argos very much just kind of like, so stone giants are typically anywhere from like 12 to 14 feet tall. In this dreamlike sense that you're in, they look to be 30 feet tall. Just absolutely massive to you. And they are covered in swirling markings all over their skin as well. And so they like come down towards you and they just start to shrink till they're about your size.
That was awesome.
And they're like, please take off your armor.
All right.
He does so, taking off the black shades of his leather armor.
And you pick out the you said the shoulder that you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. So he pulls out like a full shaving kit and he begins to kind of like lather up and trim your hair until eventually it is now down to like the bare skin, and they take they slap you. No.
Oh, sorry.
That was frightening.
Ugh.
Argos like turns to the two of you. Will either of you be needing of the ink?
No, I think I'm all set. I have an external hard drive.
Very well.
I do not know what that means.
I don't either. His nose starts bleeding.
Artemis gets to bleed.
We always get to bleed out of a hole. No, I am afraid I do not wish to mark my skin. My scales are quite honorable as is. I will forego this.
Her scales are a temple.
Very well. Before they begin imprinting the tattoo into your flesh, they actually go over to a large pile of things and they pour out into a small kind of flat dish some kind of liquid, and they come back to you and go, my methods will sear your flesh before the ink is imparted. I suggest you drink.
Okie
Mm-hmm.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
What am I ingesting?
I am uncomfortable.
It looks like a black tea.
I should have looked before I drink. 18.
Okay. You imbibe it, and almost instantly you start to feel numb across your body. Almost like you've just taken a number of shots. And they take their paintbrush and they start to very finely make these sweeping and quick marks, imparting this beautiful owl onto your skin. However, where this cool sensation of the ink and the paint being left on you starts, very quickly this searing sensation follows behind it. And it just gets more and more painful. But between the numbing that you feel and this, it's not quite as unbearable as it probably would have been had you not drank. So you are going to take a little bit of damage for this.
Do we just smell burning flesh?
You do. You actually do smell burning flesh. You take 12 points of acid damage.
Woo!
I rolled double sixes on 2d6. And as this is occurring, you start seeing images of like these black owls swimming before your vision and all sorts of animals like coming into your sight and almost overwhelming you until you finally dip into this deep sleep. And for you, Hestor and Scylla, it just looks like Artomis has lost consciousness, like fully passed out.
Oh my.
And
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was stronger than that.
it is
yes.
the ink. It takes its toll and time.
You will have to excuse me, Mr. Dreamer, but we've only just met you, and our friend has now fallen unconscious under your hand. Will he be all right?
They will recover within a few hours when the ink has finished setting. Do not worry, my work is done. And they actually like lay Artomis upon a cloth on the ground, which to you guys looks like it's almost like a magic carpet ride because you are still dreaming. And they walk back to this circle of stones and they once again start to grow and they begin to paint. And Argos turns to you both, kind of looking back to you, and he's just like, one hand is just constantly painting something. And you can see it moving like if you could spin like a globe on a desk, it almost looks like that stone is moving as images are painted upon it. And he goes, you quest for something, no? I can feel it in your minds. There are things, especially you. He points at you, Hestor. Something pulls at the corner of your mind.
I mean, a few things. Are you familiar with anything, I guess, known as Entomoc's boon?
I cannot say. What was its purpose?
I think it was to strengthen or summon elementals.
Interesting.
I don't know all the ins and outs. I honestly have never seen it used. I've only heard stories.
I could not tell you of this Entomoc's boon. You are from the city of Bligdenstone, are you not?
I am.
There was one whom visited me many years ago. One who dabbled in a good many of things. They wished for me to impart some of my waking and dreaming magics. Something that might help them create a means of protecting their city. Does this ring a bell to you in some way?
Vaguely.
They are the only ones that I have come across that had any ongoing means of communication with myself. I believe they had a workshop nearby. What was their name?
We are seeking a workshop as well.
Artomis coughs loudly in his sleep.
I believe it was Leary. Yes, that was their name. They were quite a eccentric little one. And you seem to bear something of theirs. They're pointing at you, Hestor, once again.
Are they referring to the ring?
That's the only thing that you've picked up that has any attachment to the Burrow Wardens.
And Leary was one of the Burrow Wardens we were looking for, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What was the... So there was the one in which one was Leary?
The Star Forger, or not the Sky Forger.
He's the one.
Oh, Leary was the Sky Forger?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were particularly StarCaller, but we were looking for this individual. Do you happen to know the whereabouts of this workshop?
I believe it was a little ways to the west, where the deep veins of earth ran rich. Yes, to the west, not too far. When the tunnels streak much like my paint does upon these walls, with the ores of deep metals, you will find yourself getting close.
That makes sense. And forgive me, you seem one who speaks in relative terms. When you say close, days, weeks...
Not that long. But it's been a long time since I've thought of it other than in dreams. If you are swift and find your other dreaming friend, the hunched one, I think you will find it before the closing of the dream. I believe that you would put it in terms of a few hours.
That's not far at all. Where is, Do you know where friend is?
I feel them. They are slowly making their way here, They spent some time looking for you before they succumbed to the dream. And now I can let them know where you are exactly. And within about an hour or so, StarCaller, you start to come to. And your new friend starts to kind of walk in, still led by these odd stone giants images dancing about them. She's very excited to see you. I am glad you made it. I was worried that something had befallen you. But I see you have met the dreamer.
Yes, I would say we got quite lucky here. I do apologize for losing you in the tunnels, but StarCaller was able to get his tattoo and a quick shave.
This is good.
I feel cold on my back.
That makes sense.
But it is your shoulder that is shaved.
Yeah, but like it's like the back of it's like a whole. Ugh.
Oh,
clammy.
yes. I am sorry. Forgive me. My form is twisted. I do not know.
Yes, our shoulders are behind us.
Friend StarCaller, the dreamer here was just telling us that we will likely be able to meet the Skyforger in a few hours if we head toward where the earth veins are red and streaky.
Oh, actually, does that ring any bells for you, my very tall friend?
Are you talking to the witch, or are you talking to
the witch? Because I realized, did we just like not ask her name this whole time?
No, she didn't
She
have
told
a
you
name.
she doesn't have a name.
Okay,
It was
that-
we
her
we
family
started
name was
call-
struck from her.
Right.
Their
Or
name
Scylla
is Friend.
started calling Friend.
Friend. Okay, that's great. I could not remember if that was a magical thing or if we were very rude.
No,
Nope,
we
you
were
were
very
good.
Good.
She goes, I have seen the tunnels where the veins run deep. Yes, I can take you there.
That would be lovely. If you would not mind, it would be, I think, quite useful for us to see this place. Yes.
I agree.
Before we rudely leave, Mr. Dreamer, is there something you require from us?
You, sir, do you have something you feel you could trade worthy of the spell and dream I have wrought upon your skin?
Let me see.
He starts like kind of looking through his pockets.
You know. Oh yeah, this will do.
He's gonna pull out the charlatan's die, which he bought from the Owlin some time ago, which I believe is also an uncommon magic item.
Yep.
Even if it has a somewhat limited or a somewhat unique utility, shall we say. And I'll pass that to him. I received this a time ago, and it's come in a few bits of a spot of helpfulness. Perhaps you could make use of it as well.
Oh, go ahead.
Does this look like I would like to like kind of insight to see if this is like acceptable to them or if they would like more.
Well, Artomis hands over these die, and the dreamer Argos takes them, and as they like touch his hand, they start like spinning in the air above his palm. They go, Yes, this will do. Thank you for the gracious gift. I hope your tattoo serves you well.
Well, thank
Please.
you.
And they like get up, and they're now back in like that 30-foot tall kind of large presence. They walk over to like a side of the cavern, which is just swimming in this rainbow like shimmer. And they actually take their paintbrush and they paint this large opening within the wall of the cavern, and it just melts away. And they go, your exit to the west.
That is impressive. And I know we are on our way out. She's like walking toward the exit. But should you ever be available for a battle against demon princes taking over the Underdark?
Fine idea.
terrorizing various cities, we would be very interested in your assistance.
Roll a charisma check. Persuasion.
Good thing I got a negative modifier and disadvantage.
Hey.
3.
I cannot say I have felt their presence, but in dreams, I feel you perhaps have lost yourself in those dreams. Do not fret. You will wake, and they will be gone.
I am not dreaming, but I'm not sure what else to say. I believe you believe that all of world life is a dream, then.
Is it?
Scylla's like, her nose starts bleeding again.
Yeah, that's a skosh too profound for our intelligence scores.
Yes, we will be leaving now.
Yes, I would like it if everything that has happened to me and my people were a dream, but part of me also believes that if it were a dream, somehow that is worse, because that means that I could have woken up at any time.
We'll also consider the fact that if everything is a dream, then nothing is.
We'll be going.
all of our heads explode.
Yeah,
And the credits roll.
I am like, tell me what's going through everybody's heads in this weird, because it's not just this brief but odd encounter, like the journey to get there and succumbing to these weird lucid dreams. What's going through everybody's heads?
I feel like Artemis is half elated, but then half also like, oh, I'm just gonna wake up and this is all gonna have been a literal dream. You know, it feels so otherworldly. It feels so strange that I almost assume that it's not real.
I think Scylla is like, she's such a literal person that she's very uncomfortable. It's like, she's
Sure.
like, I don't like that I don't really feel things right now, and like there's all these things happening. Is it real? Is it not? What am I thinking? Like, she's very like out of her depth.
Yeah. Hestor?
I think in the moments of clarity, Hestor is just getting more and more, I think, stressed with the amount of time that they're spending away. Like, he feels like he's allowing himself to slip and fail his colony the longer that they're away.
Sure.
So these illusions they're making it very hard for him to track how long he's been away and how dire the situation is.
Well, as you all proceed to the west following Friend, as you've now begun calling her, you eventually find yourselves, after who knows how long, the dancing images and the odd dreamlike shapes start to lessen until eventually you all kind of jolt awake and just find yourselves in a dark tunnel and all kind of wrapping your heads around what happened and feeling these things until Friend turns to you all and goes, "Perhaps another couple of hours and we will be there. I am not sure about you all, but I cannot tell if I truly need to sleep or not now."
I'm not certain if we are still dreaming. My paranoia is quite strong right now.
Hestor walks up and pinches Scylla's arm.
Ow!
Sorry. Had to be sure.
And she pinches him back.
Ah! You did
Guess
that
what?
just to do it.
No, I am checking.
I half expected you to be like, she pulls out the greatsword and tries to
You
sleep
pulled
through
the
him.
levers.
Tell me, which arm do you least like?
If this is a
the
dream,
only
you
test.
won't die.
So we are awake then, we think.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I have strength enough to continue.
I think so. I think the only way we
yeah.
are drained is mentally, but let's keep going, I guess.
Aye.
Very well. On to the metal caverns. And so you guys press on. And at this point, I need you all to make Constitution saving throws against exhaustion because you are now pushing beyond a full day.
We're sleepy little babies.
Well, the thing is you don't know how much time passed in that dreamlike state.
Ooh, true that. That's a con of 10.
You have a level of exhaustion.
11.
You have another level of exhaustion.
Wow.
Hester,
I'm slow.
19.
you are okay. You are
But would we
managing to
have-
hold together.
If we were in a dream state, we wouldn't have received like any rest during that time?
Nope.
So it was like a waking dream.
It was a waking dream.
That's trippy.
Yeah. Yeah. As you all continue to press on, a few more hours in, and I imagine conversations are either quieter or very short as you're all probably perhaps getting a little bit snappier with each other. You eventually start, like, I picture one of you, probably Scylla, considering how tired you are, at one point just like running your hands along the walls until like your hand just feels this odd smoothness. And you look over and there's just this deep vein of goldish, coppery-like material that's probably about 1.5 feet wide that your hand rests upon. And then the rest of you start to notice these of different types of metal that is like in semi-ore form, semi-full metal form that just literally runs in like stripes through these caverns. And your friend turns to you and goes, "And here we are to the metal rainbowed caverns. I do not know if it has a actual name."
This is quite beautiful.
Indeed. So this is the realm of the Starforger, or the Skyforger, I should say.
Theoretically. Let's take a look around, I guess.
Yes, hold high your lantern, Scylla.
Thought I was holding it quite high. And she picks it up again.
Hester,
Sure.
you begin noticing that tug within your mind again.
Oh.
As
Okay.
it starts to feel like it's almost more painful, and it's shifting as you move through the tunnels. And as you all continue forward to eventually, it's like right next to you, and it just feels like this more blatantly painful, like someone has their fist just pressed against the side of your head, until the three of you turn, and where Scylla's lantern light passes over the cavern wall, this illusion passes, and you see a small tunnel that stretches forward to a door. This door, as you approach it, is completely made of metal. You see that there are large markings and rivets and bands crisscrossing it, but no doorknob. What do you do?
Can I look? Is there anything on the door that indicates some other kind of opening mechanism or some sort of lock anywhere?
Roll an investigation check, and anybody can do this.
Can I assist Scylla in doing this?
Sure.
Rude. That's fine. I'll take my natural 20 and leave.
Oh.
13.
All right.
23.
23. You're all kind of peeking over each other because this tunnel is very small. You're all a bit cramped. And I kind of picture it as like everybody's kind of pointing and poking over like Hester's shoulder as he kind of saddles up to the door.
If you get the hell out of my way, I could find something. Damn it.
As you're passing your hand over the door,
Bite me.
Some of the rivets, as your like fingertips gloss over it, you feel one of them turn, and you hear it, and then your hand passes another one, and you feel it turn. Very much like a safe dial. And your hand continues to pass over it, and you feel that there's a couple points in which some of the bands shift in one side, and you can hear this like click as it goes in a little bit, and then it comes out. And then you realize that there are only a certain amount of these rivets and a certain amount of these small bars that move.
Do I get the impression that we need to do it in some kind of particular order, or that we just need to like activate all of them at once?
With your natural 20, as you were spinning one of the rivets that you kind of realize now seems to be more of a dial, you hear one of them just like, and you hear a in the door. And as you are like passing over one of these bands and you accidentally like press one in, you hear another click within the door. And so you start thinking, you're like, no, I just have to find the right ones that move and listen for the right sounds. So I will give you an option. You can either roll perception or dexterity to try and get all of these in the right spot.
If I do dexterity, it would just be a straight dexterity roll?
Yep.
Okay. I will do perception.
Okay.
I would like to help.
You very well can.
You just whisper that in my ear.
I'm gonna help you.
Mm.
Listen, I have animal ears. I will tell you what works.
Okay. 19.
Okay. It takes you a couple minutes because there's about 50 of these rivets on this door. You find about 15 of them move, and it takes you a little bit because you realize they turn very much like a safe dial. There's very small clicks, so it takes you a little bit to listen until you hear the right one, and then as you're feeling over the bands, you'll find the right ones that shift, and then all of a sudden, the door opens. And
Honey,
then you
we're
feel...
home.
Then you see as a lantern all of a sudden begins to glow 10 feet away from you across the wall with this greenish light. And I'm going to illuminate your way a little bit.
Does it look menacing?
It doesn't look menacing.
Okay. It just looks like the chamber is open and now it's illuminating?
Yes.
Okay.
As you step in, you look to the left and to the right, and you see about 15 to 20 feet away, 2 more lanterns on either side illuminate.
Okay. How far forward does this chamber go? Or is it just this corridor in front of us?
Just the corridor in front of you as you're walking in. And a couple of things about these corridors that catch your attention is that the floors here are almost polished, smooth stone. They almost have this glossy-like texture to them. Same with the walls, and you can see where like dwarves have like the typical, I think it's Art Deco, and elves are typically associated with like, what is it, Art Nouveau?
Art Nouveau, yeah.
Nouveau, thank you. Gnomes, I think, are far more of a... like, there's not as much patterns per se as like script, like swirls and odd kind of like if you've ever seen like certain types of engraving upon jewelry, it's more sweeping patterns, and it almost gives like this mystical kind of sense because gnomes are often known for tinkering with both science and magic together. And it kind of has that same interesting appeal to it. But that's what you see in these corridors. With the lanterns illuminated, you see that there are 2 openings, as there are these archways that kind of define that they exit out. And beyond to the west, you see that there is a larger opening into a cavern. And to the east, you see one where the floors all of a sudden get rougher. As you can see stone, and some of that stone actually like spills out into the corridor here on the east. What do you all want to do?
Is there a particular way, like, do I still have that pressure in my head?
You do.
Is it
And
pulling a
that-
certain direction?
That pressure seems to be pulling you towards the northeast.
Okay. Guys, I have that weird temple thing again going on. I think we should go this way.
Oh,
And Hester's just going to start scouting ahead up the tunnel.
after you, sir.
For someone with uncertainty surrounding the purpose of a magical tattoo, you are willing to follow a headache quite freely.
You know, you give me attitude when I help. I'm just going to stop helping.
So as you go forward, you find yourselves now, all of you, standing on the edges in the beginnings of what looks like a small mine. All about you, you see that there are old, faded, and empty braziers at random intervals. You see a large track with a very old, rusted, though finely crafted mine cart. You see one kind of off the track to the side, partially filled with a collection of rubble, and you see on some of these cavern walls some bits of these veins that have been dug into as well.
Is there anything... Like, does the track look like it's leading anywhere in particular? Is there more open cavern? Is it sort of a tunnel situation?
It looks like the cavern continues on, and the track seems to be continuing to lead to the east for as far as you can see.
Alright, I'm gonna follow alongside the tracks for a few to see if this tunnel deviates at all.
Okay. As you continue forward... Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Andrew.
I'll follow him, but on the opposite side of the tracks, so that we're spanning the hallway a bit.
Okay.
Bringing up the rear.
I think friend will stick close to you then, Scylla.
I'm slow.
That's okay. You're tired. As you
So
continue
tired.
forward, you see this track deviate slightly to the southeast before coming to a dead end. And in that dead end, you see very old pickaxes and shovels of a smaller size. And
Do they look like they're in operating condition, or are they sort of broken?
No, they look broken, like they haven't been touched in who knows how long.
Okay.
The other thing you see is that the track then splits and goes north, and you see another archway and the beginnings of a finely made tunnel beyond that the track continues northward through.
I think we're supposed to go up that way.
All right. As you say.
I continue to lead.
As you're moving up that way, I would like for all of you to make perception checks.
Yeah, the luck can't last forever. 12.
5.
Okay.
21.
Nice.
21. Artemis, you are struck with a smell of, like, sulfur. And something that has been burnt. Horribly burnt. You're not quite sure as to what was being burnt, but you smell sulfur and this smoky, charred kind of smell lingering in the air about you. However, you don't see any smoke of any sort.
Something burned here. Something burned incredibly hot and leaves the scalding squeals. But it would seem some time ago.
When he points that out, can I smell it, or is it still eluding me?
Yeah, as he points it out, you'll all just probably take a moment. And then Scylla, your kind of more predatory nature along with StarCallers starts to kick in, and like you can definitely smell it.
Does it smell like dormant or volatile? Like, I guess what I mean by that is, does it sound like something is actively burning or actively, like, combustible, or does it smell like something was burned here before?
It smells like something must have been burned here before, and while it's not fresh, it's not exactly old, not ancient by any means.
All right. As we get a little closer, then towards the next archway here, I'm gonna pop another divine sense. Look for any celestial fiends or undead.
You don't pick up any celestial fiends or undead anywhere in the vicinity.
All right, let's see the next part of this then.
As you exit this corridor, you find yourself in a very, very large space. This room is about 65 feet across by 55 feet long.
Oh,
And in
good
here, you see
smooth
immediately
hands.
to your right is a couple of small tracks pulled to the side with a few empty and partially full mine carts. All about it are stacks of old rubble and ores that have been picked over. You see that there is a wheelbarrow and a shovel that's been broken. You see one minecart is completely toppled off the rails and seems somewhat destroyed. You see that there are a couple very large pillars in the middle of the room that support the 25-foot tall ceilings within here. In the middle of the room, you also see that there is a large round stone table inlaid with gold, and sitting upon it are very old, semi-scorched scrolls, notebooks, papers, and a very elaborate and fine-looking sand glass. To the east or to your left, you see that there are two grindstones, one of which seems to be of a smaller size and one appears to be quite large. And beyond, going back to the north, beyond this round stone table with the gold inlay, you see what looks like an old water barrel, a large furnace or forge, and a pair of anvils to the left and right of it. And both are one's of smaller size and one's of larger size, but they are of very fine make. The other things you notice are that all about the floor are strewn scorch marks. And there, about 10 feet to the north of this round table, between an anvil and a water barrel, is a metal humanoid figure of this greenish blue color covered in rust, and they sit, or I should say stand stationary. What do you guys want to do?
I suppose this is the Skyforge?
Which would seem. Is this where your mind is pulling you, Hestor?
Yeah. I didn't think it existed.
This is good. This is very good. There are tools here that can greatly benefit the people. Back in Blagdenstone, there is perhaps much we can learn here and bring back to help bolster the community.
Will, the figure between the forge and the stone table, does it look like it would be a sentient being, or does it look kind of just like a suit of like rusted armor standing in the middle of the room?
Make a investigation check.
Okay.
I want to look at these scorch marks.
Okay. You can also make an investigation check, or you can just do a general perception check. Either one. I will dictate how that information gets to you.
A 14 on investigation on the figure.
19 investigation on the scorch marks.
Nice.
Okay. I'm putting up a fuller image of what this metal man looks like on our resources page on our Discord.
You should join our Discord.
You should join the Discord.
Everyone
people.
should.
We're all there.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of the point.
This metal figure, with your investigation check, very much looks akin to a suit of armor. However, upon closer investigation, you see sitting in the back is this large diamond rhombus-shaped hole in which it looks like something could be set within. And as you're looking into it, you see a series of like fine engravings and cogs and gears, making you think that this is some kind of construct, not a suit of armor.
Oh.
The other thing that strikes you is that the pull within your head,
Yeah.
as you've moved about this stone table to investigate this construct, seems to shift, and you feel like it's pointing you towards
It's to the table. Everybody, I'm going to look at the table. Keep an eye on that thing. It's
Very well.
Not inanimate.
StarCaller will pull out Dawn Edge. Won't pop the blade yet, but pulls the haft out and then takes his broken +1 sword out as well.
Do we think this is going to turn dangerous?
I don't know. I simply think we should be cautious.
Well, do I think if I imbue Caliburn with the ice, will that go away if I don't use it? Or will it just, like, stay frosty?
I don't think you've done it before, so you're not entirely sure how long it will last upon the blade. However, we do have an investigation on these scorch marks that you made to give you a little more information here.
Yeah, that's cool.
These scorch marks appear like they were part of some kind of blast. Like someone had sent something here which exploded. And judging by the different sizes around the room, either someone was wielding wildly volatile explosive materials, or different levels of magic were used to cast, and someone was throwing these about. And the thing that strikes you about this, feeding into, it was a 19, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, as you're moving about the room, seem like they could have originated from above the table. You think someone must have been standing there, or was there, that had somehow thrown these out, because the scorch marks make you believe that that was this, like, the epicenter. Wherever they were being tossed from or cast from, that's where they were.
Hestor, before you approach that table too much, I believe these scorch marks came from above it or at it or something. Looking at the direction.
Yeah, are there any sign, like, do things on the table look like they were kicked about, like there was somebody standing on it, or are there any signs of, like, a body around the table?
There's no signs of a body, and it doesn't look like anything was kicked, but you see from the center of the table outward is just this large, it's not depicted on our map here, but there's this large scorch mark that's just perfectly black in the middle, and it starts to fade as it gets closer to the edges of the table. And you can see, like, wherever things were on the edges of the table, like these papers and such, aren't quite as scorched. It's just little tiny moldy scraps that have been left behind.
It's like there was some sort of detonation from the center of the table.
Perhaps.
Do you see anything above you, Hestor?
I look up.
You don't see anything above you.
No, I'm pretty sure whatever this was came either from the table or some source on or around it.
Yes. Perhaps Lear was incinerated upon the table.
Something. Can I pour through the stuff that is on the table and see if there's anything of interest?
You start sifting through what's left of these papers until your hand hits something semi-heavy. And you're like, ow, ow. Because it feels like it was metal. And as you move a couple more pieces of paper, you see that there is a metal rhombus with a gemstone within the center, a very dull, deep red one.
Does it look about the size of the imprint on the wall?
Not the imprint on the wall, but the hole within the back of the construct nearby.
Gotcha.
I would like you all to make perception checks.
I have a question.
Absolutely,
Okay.
ask away.
It looks to me like there was like big me, little me situation going on. Am I getting the sense that there was like two people, one bigger, one smaller in this room?
You would think so.
Interesting.
That's a 7 over here.
I'm so intrigued by
I should say I did not make this token big enough. This statue is of large size.
Oh,
I apologize
Jesus.
for that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's much bigger than you think. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder if this was like an assistant to Leary.
Well, that would make sense. They were an incredible forger. They could have created this machine to help them.
Either that or perhaps another stone giant had their child working with them in the forge.
Maybe, but I'm curious why this gem looks like it goes to the construct, why it's on the table.
We should put it inside and find out, yes?
That seems...
But first, we have a perception check.
You do have a perception check. What did everybody get?
Another natural 20 for a 26.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
This is not fair.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 with disadvantage.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh no.
Okay. And friend, what did they get? They have I rolled a 16. Perception is +7. So friend and Hestor, both of their heads just whip to the tunnel coming from the west. As you hear the very softest of footsteps, so almost so imperceptible that you don't feel like they're there. However, you just smell the reek of like burnt flesh and sulfur
Oh no.
as this large red form with these small horns atop their head comes forward. In one hand, they hold this large scimitar, and about their waist they are bedecked with this like green gold cloth and these shimmering coins on loops. And I'm posting their image on our Discord.
Join our Discord.
Join it now!
Oh Jesus.
And this figure what has these horrible piercings in this snarling face steps forward. So some mice have come to join us here in the forge. And they see what you hold in your hand, Hestor. I will not be imprisoned once again. I will burn your flesh as I did them. Come, slaves. Roll for initiative.
Oh shit. Oh no.
Is initiative an ability check?
Oh, it totally is.
It is. It is.
Oh no. Oh, didn't get any worse.
Yeah, it's not really that much different.
All right, Artemis, what'd you get?
Remember, don't worry. Initiative is only the most important part of combat, so...
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And Artemis, what did you get?
a 10.
Scylla?
We sure did. 12. We really learned the importance of initiative when Indigo died.
Yeah. Hestor?
Somehow the best. 13.
Oh, no. And friend got a 6, so this is good.
Scylla got a nat 1 on perception, and she's just like hanging out, looking at this thing in the corner, like, this is so interesting that everything in this room is 2 different sizes.
I like it.
I like it. Well, we need to change up the music here, because this is bad.
I mean, only if we are invested in our survival.
Is this in a freebie? Or
It is
whatever?
indeed. Take a
Spoilers.
point of inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean
Wait.
spoilers? We're literally there.
I don't know what he is.
I don't know.
I
You
could have
can
guessed
cut-
on the
You can
janglies
cut
on
that
his
if you
skirt.
want.
On the
I-
Janglies gave it away. Damn
No,
it.
I couldn't remember if that was called. I just know it looks like the fiery version of the genie family.
Yeah.
Fair. Honestly, very fair, yeah.
This figure, they like whip into this battle pose, and then they kind of sneer, and they actually release their scimitar and like thrust one hand out as they hurl a flame twice. One is going to be at Scylla, who's directly 10 feet south. Let's see. Nope, that is going to miss you because I rolled a 8 plus 7. And they get to do it a second time. And the second one is going to be at Friend. That is definitely going to hit because Friend doesn't have armor. So Friend takes 5d6 damage.
5d6. Jesus.
So they take 18 points of fire damage, and you just hear Friend just like, "Ah, that's, why are you doing this?" And this Afreet is then going to make you see their like legs turn into smoke as they then move and fly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to basically back over the table. So they are now 20 feet up in the air and 10 feet across from Hestor. And they just scream down at you all, "I will jar your bones or make you serve me. Your choice. Bend the knee or die."
Oof.
And we'll catch up with you guys next time.
Ooh-wee! That was a wild ending on that one, but you know what? We're glad you're here. We are rapidly getting close to 100 episodes, and it is great to have you here in the outro. Couple quick things. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. We are publishing all of our episodes out to YouTube so that you can actually watch us playing the game instead of just listening. And then if you want to hop over in our Discord, we've got all sorts of people in there talking about the podcast. And, you know, we're also talking about Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate is out right now, and we're all loving it. And then we've got maps up in the Discord channel, some extra content with some other things. And if you have questions for us as players, we've got a little channel in there that you could submit for the bonus action segments. So really loving that. We hope to see you there. You can find all of our links at linktree.com/themadnesstable. And I think that's it. So we'll see you next time when...
Madness continues.